What have you been wondering about?
Well, I don't know if you guys saw it or not. Kind of made national news a little bit, but there was a guy in Louisville, Kentucky, last weekend that may or not be known for playing a little golf, and he got arrested going into Valhalla.
It wasn't Teddy Hoops, was it?
No, it was not.
Okay.
It was a guy by the name of Scotty Scheffler.
I think they named him Scotty knowing he'd be a golfer.
You reckon?
I think so.
You think so?
You mean
Golf's a
are you
Scottish
talking
sport.
about the same guy that is the number one
Golfer in the world.
golfer in the world?
Yes.
Just won Augusta.
Yeah. That
Maybe
guy.
have you heard of it?
Yeah. He
Has a green jacket.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Yeah.
Guy's
Maybe he got
kind of
arrested for dressing like a dweeb.
No. No.
dressing
That ain't
like
it.
a dweeb.
But anyway, for
You
all
think he was
you,
wearing his green jacket?
for all you folks
yeah,
at
sounds
home,
awful douchey.
for all you folks at home that don't like watch the news or anything like that, or like live under a rock, that would have been
Saturday.
Friday.
It was Friday morning.
Friday morning. Friday morning on the way in, Scotty Scheffler was trying to pull into Valhalla Golf Course, but unbeknownst to him, there had been a fatal accident.
Hey, before you go any further,
Okay.
I forgot. We have some special guests in the room
Oh,
Yeah.
who shall remain anonymous.
yeah, we got an audience. A little
For safekeeping purposes, but we've got two on the couch that aren't Couch Guy because we don't even know where Couch Guy's at.
Well, he's
We
got
He's
think
stuff.
been MIA.
We think he came back from Mexico,
He's got stuff.
but we don't know.
We don't know that.
We
I
don't
haven't
know
actually
that.
seen him.
We don't know that, and we got another individual here who we feel pretty safe. Not that we need armed security here. We don't have them beating down the door, but we have a very special guest from a local agency here with us today. So
I bet you the rumor mill's flying and hauling with that thing all lit up out there like a Christmas tree for an hour and a half. I knew it.
Dave's been beating on Jenna and the kids. We knew there was something off about that David Smoker.
He's not even from here.
Yeah, I knew we couldn't trust him. I mean, we let people from Spencer County and Perry County and Pike County and Davies County into our county. But this guy from Richmond, Indiana, who the hell is he? Marrying a Jasper girl? Think we're just going to forget about where he comes from? Hang him high, Donnie. Go on, though. Fatality down in Valhalla.
God damn. So he's just going to start his
Driving
round.
to work.
Yeah, start his round. And
Still went and shot a 66, by the way, which is pretty
Raining.
impressive.
raining,
Foggy.
dark, foggy.
Bet he was hungover.
Trying to pull in. I doubt it. I highly doubt it. No. But anyway, trying to pull in and just a little bit of communication breakdown, a little classic mix up, and goes around a bus and then was arrested for an absolute
Litany of crimes.
laundry list
I
of
think he's got 4 of them on there.
Yeah.
One of them being a felony. Dave.
yeah.
For hitting the cop with a car?
Well,
Is that the felony?
Well, I think it was some portion
second
of that.
degree assault of a police officer, third degree criminal mischief, reckless driving, and disregarding signals from officers directing traffic.
That was probably the felony.
I do
Didn't
believe,
follow directives.
yeah,
No.
something like that.
kidding.
I do believe second degree assault of a police officer is it.
Now, in the Commonwealth of Kentucky, they do things a little bit different, so I
Right.
can't advise.
Right.
I'm only licensed here in the state of Indiana.
Sure.
So,
But anyway, what I
Appreciate the disclaimer.
Yeah.
what I had just I'd read into it, and then like today, roughly about 9 hours ago, there had been some security footage surface of him actually having this altercation with the police officer, and I watched it, and I in fact did not see anything that would be anywhere close to matching what the actual police
Now, the
officers.
feller in the yellow coat, he was like halfway in the car through the window.
Yeah,
once.
that was the cop. That was the arresting officer. The guy that beat on his door that was allegedly drug by the car and had like road rash all over his arm and a broken wrist and like all these other things that the #1 golfer in the world, assaulted him, and everything like that. But I just,
I'm worried about the trousers that were damaged beyond repair.
yeah.
Now, I've never written a police report, but I think going in the detail of your trousers, calling them tactical trousers,
Right. I
being in disrepair is an interesting way to go about it.
I'd have called them battle breeches.
battle britches.
That's my favorite pair of battle breeches, and he tore them up.
I just hope that the arresting officer, I just hope he feels like a total douche. Like
Why?
Because like all these things. Like,
Can I play devil's advocate real quick?
Go ahead.
So I just want to balance it out a little bit, because if there's anything in this show, Dave, we try to be fair and balanced.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
The security footage you are mentioning shows the end of the situation. Now, defense attorney me from my former life, I would make a couple arguments. The first one was his body cam footage wasn't on, which he's been cited for, and I think it indicated that command had discussed with him what to do. Basically, hey, you should have turned it on because it's their policy. So that's the first thing as a defense attorney I'm going to point out. The second part, going to point out the fact that if this, and it doesn't necessarily matter, I mean, he could have still battered the officer prior to when you see him turn in, because there's a bus right there in front of him. But if the injury was to the extent of it rises to a second degree, which argues that there's some type of injury, I would imagine that's why it's a second degree.
Yeah, poor bastard.
That it looked like he got to the vehicle pretty quick to escalate the situation. But it's a tough thing all around.
Like if you notice on the video, like there's so many buses that are
it's a madhouse.
Yeah. And the woman was struck and killed by one of those buses.
Woman or man?
I thought it was a woman.
I think it was a man.
Okay.
I don't think we're qualified to make those statements.
Oh, we don't know how they would identify.
The individual that
so we need to apologize for misgendering this individual.
Could have been a cat.
Yeah, no,
Could've.
it was.
Well, you don't know how it identified.
Who knows what it identified as?
Thank you.
Either way, the thing that was mortally wounded, where Scotty's car was going around this traffic issue, they said it wasn't even relatively close to the actual scene of the.
It looked like a shit show.
Of
is what
the
it
death,
looked
like it was way the out of the way, and like they just didn't. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I feel like since they knew who he is, like they're making a huge deal of it. Is that true? I mean, do you ever feel that way?
Well, I mean, I would say the antics by the district attorney for the council requesting a moving of the arraignment date, which we would probably call an initial hearing here in the state of Indiana, is very commonplace. The individual in the room with us that knows that probably getting a initial hearing like that continued to another date that's convenient for all the parties is not that big of a deal.
No, it's
this guy was acting like we were retrying OJ, and it was if the glove doesn't fit, we must have quit kind of deal.
Hard to get somebody out of the ground for that.
Yeah. T's and P's to OJ.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
I tell you what I took away from the whole thing. Like, there's lots of big cities.
Yeah.
All over the country.
Right.
Okay.
And you'll hear about some stuff. Like, remember the shootout in California in the 90s where the cop shot like 114 times?
That was like
and placed one bullet.
It was the biggest police-involved shootout to date. I
Like
believe.
with the worst marksmanship of
all time.
Of all time.
Yes.
So you hear that and it's like,
Well,
okay.
no, let's not cut them any short. I mean, yes, they're terrible shots, but those dudes were like heavily armored as well.
I'll buy that. I'll buy that.
And they had them snub-nosed revolvers, kind of dirty, hairy style.
They had a shit ton of guns themselves.
Well, so what I'm driving at here is you always hear like a bad story of a big city because it travels around. But I feel like we hear an awful lot about the, old Louisville dropping the ball when it comes to this sort of thing.
Is that right?
Well, I mean, I feel like they've been in the news nationally now, like 2 or 3 times in the last 2 or 3. Because of homegirl down there.
Oh, yeah.
What's her name?
We'll just leave that one.
Well, I'm just saying, like, you hear a lot about them, like, well, Louisville PD strikes again.
Strikes again.
I feel like that's what they're painting up here. Just, like what's happening that's not on that.
I think the reality of this situation, how this will work out. Now, Scotty's attorney has said we're going to fight it.
Yeah,
you're either going to dismiss it or we're going to try it.
Exactly. We're going
That's
to try.
great because you're trying this case right now in the court of public opinion.
Yeah.
Purely court of public opinion right now, and Scotty's winning. But I think how this will all work out, there'll be some conversation. There'll be some apologies. There'll be some.
I heard the news. The cops were here.
There'll be some handshakes.
She said no shit.
There'll be some handshakes. Maybe they'll let the detective wear the green jacket.
Never know.
There'll be a replacement of the battle breeches.
All the memes, like when this first happened, I know we're a week late to the game, but when the meme game, when this shit came out, was absolutely.
Oh, the Shawshank Redemption one is my favorite one. I'm going to tell my kids this is Scotty Scheffler, Tiger Woods.
What about the one whenever he's got the teardrop tattoo? Like he's in the green jacket with a teardrop tat. You know what I mean? And shit like that. And then like Ricky Fowler, the year prior, wore that whole orange golf shoes, orange trousers, slacks, shirt, hat, the whole works. They were like, we would pay Scheffler $1 million if he shows up to shoot us.
I want to know what he paid to be able to be out of jail in time to golf.
Well, but in the reality of a lot of these,
whatever he posted his bond at, you know what I mean?
See you, buddy. Thanks for stopping by.
Swing by anytime.
We'll see you later. I think the bigger thing though is in a lot of these metropolitan areas, they've decriminalized so much that's why, like, I mean, you hear about. There was a situation in New York where this guy had beat on a cop.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean,
he
he's
was
facing
released.
second-degree assault on a police officer, felony charges.
I'm just saying that there's a lot of catch and release that goes on in these areas.
Well,
so it's not surprising,
right?
I mean,
well, not surprising, but for me, for us to sit here and think that he didn't have to pay some substantial amount of money,
I just mean to get
out.
like I feel like to get it pushed that early in the morning, like. Don't you have to have like a judge to say, yeah, you're allowed to even get a bond?
Well, and probably in these bigger areas, they've got
24-hour time.
I just figured like he had enough money to like
set standard, and
or in this situation in itself with this sort of heavy hitter celebrity or whatever
Louisville's
you call
like
it.
$4 million and we'll let you out.
Well,
no, it's not even that.
That was another argument.
They got him there, and they're like, "You're bringing Scotty Scheffler in here, you dumbass. We don't have.
That's all the. TikToks.
We can't put him in the freaking holding tank.
That's all the
dumb bastard.
That's all the TikToks I saw whenever it says like arresting officers, like, "Yo, chief, hey, yeah, I got him." Some big tall bastard with a beard. Yep. Polo shirt, shorts.
Had some golf clubs with him.
Yeah, had some clubs in the trunk. They said his name was Scotty. Scheffler? Hold on a minute. Yeah, no, that's him. Real? What? Okay, what? Oh. You know what I mean? It's like this shows the sheet and the chief like, you arrested Scotty Scheffler?
There was another one where he got home and, hey, how was your day? Oh, it was pretty good. Had kind of an interesting arrest. And the person was like, oh yeah, who was it? His name was tied to like food, like something to do with food, like something like chef. And the guy's like, Scotty Scheffler? Yeah, that's him. You know. So I don't know. It's a tough spot.
Yeah.
Obviously, the thing that I theorized from the get go was obviously where Valhalla's at. It's not like there's a big wide road for all this stuff, and they have very little parking.
Yes,
because when we went down there in 2014, we were bussed in from Papa John Stadium. Well, I don't know what they call it anymore now,
Yum
but
Center.
Well, no, it wasn't the Yum. It's out by the fairgrounds.
Freedom Hall.
We were out by the fairgrounds.
So friend of the program, Matt Noblet works. That's part of his sales territory, and they had to actually travel, somewhat close to that place. And he said it was a mess. Like it was
because it's narrow, windy road.
It was Spaghetti Junction times 1,000.
And it's not surprised that somebody got run over up there.
No,
especially at dark, in the rain, foggy.
Now the person.
I wonder how many felons are in the PGA. Oh, or is he a live guy?
No,
he's PGA guy.
PGA for sure.
He's the kind of title holder of the PGA Tour right
Yeah,
now.
like he won the Masters.
Now there was a live guy playing in that tournament, right?
Yeah, Bryson DeChambeau.
Yeah.
he finished second.
Yeah,
Oh man, but he just lost.
yeah,
Yes.
Like just lost.
yeah.
Like,
Scheffler just
not to be
Schauffele.
confused with
Schauffele.
Scheffler.
not or
Yeah.
or souffle.
Oh.
Yeah, we were calling him souffle that day.
Mhm.
Who
Yeah,
was?
I we were watching the final round there at a real shithole down the road here, but they they were
Real shithole.
yeah, it's just a dump. It's up. They got a pool. It's not very good anyway. Wouldn't waste my time going there. But he choked on that. You know, if DeChambeau doesn't two putt like four or five holes back, and you know drops that stroke, you know, and then obviously I believe it was his third shot because is 18 a par 5 or par 4?
I think it depends on the course.
I think it's a par 5 at Valhalla, isn't it?
I don't think it's that.
Either
lit,
way,
maybe.
one of his second or third shot off the tee, he's right in the Schauffele is right in the Scheffler. How do you say his name?
Xander Schauffele.
Schauffele. So Schauffele. Xander. Let's just go first name basis. So
we know him.
Xander's right here
Big
by
fan
the
of the podcast.
fairway bunker.
Yeah.
Terrible lie.
Yeah.
Right-handed golfer. He's got to stand in the sand. He chokes way down on his iron, and then like the ball was probably shin height.
That was a wild shot.
That was like it was a terrible lie, and they were like the commentators were like, "Oh God, here it goes. He's going to blow it right here. This is going to be a terrible shot." Because
they were talking quieter though.
yeah, real quiet. Yeah, Xander's got a really tough
There's no
shot
way he
here.
can
He's
make
going to blow with this load and suck balls big time here. Going to lose it
Sucking
all.
balls and blowing load.
Yeah. So anyway, he just absolutely hit shot of a lifetime. You know what I mean? Shitty lie, lays up about 24 feet out, 25 feet, and two putts to go. What was it? 21 under or something like that, or whatever.
Yeah.
And DeChambeau was right there at 20. And they showed after he had finished because Bryson was maybe two groups ahead of him or something like that, and goes straight to the range.
Well, those guys get
Yeah, they got
ready
to stay
go.
loose if they have to go into a playoff or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. It was just a wild finish, and what better fashion to finish? You know, the PGA Championship. You know, like in that. You know, when he come down to the wire. I mean, I think that's cool.
Like that DeChambeau guy needs to loosen up a little bit. It like when he
Oh,
putts,
man.
he's so tensed up. It looks like he's holding the dead man switch to C4 in his asshole.
I think he does that so everybody can see his ripping tricep.
He does. His swing method is called the one plane swing method.
Yeah.
So all of his clubs, even his putter, are cut to the exact same length.
Oh, really?
So the theory of it is the one plane swing method, and this is bad radio, but the one swing plane, everything is all the same.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why everything's extended. That's why
So he's not as good as the others because he can't do multiple things.
This is just a way to do it. Most players are on a two plane because you get back and then up.
Yeah.
He just kind of comes around with his hands, and the clubs are fitted to where he can swing back.
Right.
Because the only thing our buddy Teddy Hoops would tell us is where impact on the ball is. So the two plane, why most golfers, amateur and professional, do two plane. There is a higher, not necessarily higher, but there's maybe a more stronger likelihood that you'll miss hit somewhere. And in theory, in the one plane, if you're lined up the exact way every time, do your swing every time, you should be at impact square.
So the one plane, it's just all in the hips.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, for him, DeChambeau, it was when he first started it, he bulked up. Like he was a big dude.
Long
and
drive
then he
guy,
slimmed
right?
down. He slimmed down a lot.
Yeah.
But he developed the ability and the explosiveness to do it because you got to swing out of your shoes.
So just to get some facts here. So Schauffele, he shot 21 under, Shambo 20 under, and then Victor Hovland was 18, and then it goes down. But our boy in the cuffs, Mr. Scott Scheffler,
he had a bad Saturday.
he tied for 8th at a total of 13 under.
He had a bad Saturday. His caddy went to his
One
son's
may
high school
say
graduation.
if you beat the best golfer in the world, it may make you the best golfer in the world.
No,
sir.
That's what I would.
not over the consistency.
Yeah. So
Everybody would tell
anyway,
you
I
Scheffler's
was
been the
just
hottest golfer.
hey, by the way, real quick fun fact here: the total purse of that tournament
Probably
18 million.
18.5.
So we worked up today. Me and a guy at work. He went on Thursday, so he knew the average ticket prices for Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Right.
And we looked up how many people went, and I believe the PGA made something like $163 million on ticket sales. Then he knew what a beer cost because he bought one, and then figured, out of all those people, if 25% of them buy a beer, that was like $2 million, which that'd have been Valhalla.
Man, you work with some real nerds, huh?
Yeah.
Some real numbers guys.
Yeah. Well, that's the world spins on numbers.
Yeah, really.
I like numbers.
Hell yeah, brother.
Do you really like
10-4
numbers?
rain, man.
And turtles?
And turtles.